Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself.
That one line from Kevin Durant, with LeBron James laughing in the background, was enough to set the basketball world on fire. You just don't joke about Michael Jordan like that. Ever. And in a twist nobody saw coming, NBA legends didn't only fire back at KD and LeBron, they pulled Bronny James into it too. What started as light talk turned personal almost instantly. And trust me, it got messy. Let's unpack it, because this wasn't just another viral podcast moment. It was one of those rare flashes that jumps off the screen and hits basketball culture right in the chest. There was no game, no buzzer beater, no championship on the line, yet somehow it rattled the entire legacy debate. It all began with what was supposed to be a calm, insightful sit-down between two of the defining stars of this generation. On July 8, 2025, Durant joined LeBron on his podcast, Mind the Game. Fans expected high-level hoops talk, not a cultural detonation. For those unfamiliar, the show has grown into one of basketball media's most respected platforms. After JJ Redick stepped away to become head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron brought in two-time MVP Steve Nash to keep the discussions sharp and analytical. The podcast dives into mindset, preparation, recovery, and the evolution of the game at its highest level. Now in its third season, it leans even deeper into strategy and psychological warfare, the kind of detail casual fans rarely hear. Durant's appearance came in two parts, recorded during the off-season before his move to the Houston Rockets. Early on, everything felt smooth. The first episode, released July 1, 2025, explored his growth as a scorer, his respect for the Oklahoma City Thunder following their finals win over the Indiana Pacers, and the league's fixation on pace and spacing. He praised his new coach, Ime Udoka, and spoke about the mid-range jumper making a comeback. But the second episode, the one that aired July 8th, drifted into dangerous territory. The topic shifted to legacy pressure and what it really takes to remain elite year after year. Durant, reflective as ever, described the need to sign a new contract with yourself, a mental commitment to keep pushing even after you've won everything. And that's when the tone subtly changed. Durant posed a question that quietly flipped the conversation upside down. What happens when you're 10 or 12 years into your career? When you've stacked MVPs, championships, and already proven everything there is to prove, do you still wake up wanting to do this every single day?
10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs, 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself too, in order for you to be a, great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. That's the goal. However you want to get there, but you got to recommit to yourself before you commit.
Now pause there, because if you blinked, you missed the landmine. Kevin Durant wasn't just speaking about motivation. He slipped in a line every serious basketball fan immediately recognized. Some people say I want to go play baseball and then want to come back. That wasn't abstract. That was a clear reference to Michael Jordan stepping away in 1993. He never said Jordan's name. He didn't have to. The implication was obvious. Jordan stepped away. Jordan paused. Jordan didn't grind straight through. And Durant didn't stop there. He quickly shifted to praising the opposite route, the players who never left, who stayed committed for 2 decades without interruption. Everyone in the room understood who he meant. So did the audience. The contrast couldn't have been sharper. Jordan left and returned. Meanwhile, LeBron James has logged 22 consecutive elite seasons and is now entering year 23. Right on cue, LeBron burst into loud, uncontrollable laughter. Reports described him nearly in tears, giggling in the background while Durant's words landed like a subtle jab at basketball's most protected legacy. That laughter changed the tone completely. What could have remained a thoughtful debate suddenly felt disrespectful to many fans. A relaxed podcast conversation turned into a full cultural collision. Steve Nash kept things moving during the episode, but once the clips hit social media, the discussion took on a life of its own. By July 9, 2025, the video was everywhere, millions of views across X and YouTube. The basketball world split cleanly in two. One side saw harmless banter, a comparison of different paths to greatness, with Durant emphasizing longevity rather than throwing direct shots. But the other side, particularly loyal defenders of Jordan's legacy, saw something far more serious. What seemed overlooked, or ignored, was the deeply personal context behind Jordan's first retirement. In 1993, James R. Jordan Sr. was tragically killed during a robbery in North Carolina. The loss devastated Michael. He often described his father as his closest mentor and biggest supporter. When Jordan officially retired on October 6, 1993, he cited exhaustion. But those close to him knew the truth was heavier than that. Even after completing a historic three-peat with the Chicago Bulls, basketball had become emotionally unbearable. His father had always dreamed of seeing him pursue professional baseball, and that dream suddenly carried profound meaning. That context is why so many fans felt the laughter crossed the line. Jordan didn't leave out of boredom. Baseball was personal. His father had introduced him to the sport as a child and believed he had real potential. In their final conversations, they reportedly discussed stepping away from basketball to give baseball a real shot, with his father encouraging him to chase it. So when Jordan signed a minor league deal with the Chicago White Sox organization in February 1994 and played for affiliates like the Birmingham Barons, it wasn't an escape from competition. It was emotional. It was about honoring his father and coping with overwhelming grief. Yes, the baseball stint was brief, and his numbers were modest, hovering around a .200 batting average. But at the time, most people understood what it truly represented. It wasn't a vacation from pressure. It was a tribute. A way to process loss and keep moving forward when everything felt shattered. That's why Durant's comment, and LeBron's laughter, hit so hard. The internet responded instantly. One viral post bluntly stated that Jordan played baseball because it was his father's favorite sport and his way of dealing with losing his best friend. Another called it a reckless shot at MJ, arguing it had nothing to do with basketball and everything to do with family. One particularly viral thread sharpened the contrast even more. Some players lose a parent and chase a childhood dream, while others join a 73-win team. That line reopened long-standing criticism about Durant's own career decisions and poured gasoline on the fire. Durant began trying to calm the storm on July 10, 2025, responding on X to accusations of disrespect. He emphasized his admiration for Jordan, even mentioning he owns over $1 million worth of MJ sneakers. He acknowledged that Jordan stepped away in 1993, 1998, and 2003 while still standing as the greatest ever. Durant framed it as appreciation for both journeys, Jordan's dominance and LeBron's longevity. He closed by saying he loves basketball as a whole, while fans tend to focus on individuals. But for many, the damage was already done. The clip had circulated. The laughter had echoed. And the internet wasn't ready to move on. Then the legends responded. If Durant and LeBron believed this would quietly fade, they misjudged the temperature. Former players, analysts, and die-hard Jordan defenders pushed back hard. The first real counterpunch came from Kwame Brown, an unexpected but historically connected voice. Brown was the #1 overall pick in the 2001 NBA draft, selected by Jordan himself while MJ was running the Washington Wizards. His career fell short of expectations, and he endured years of public ridicule across basketball media. Now, he had something to say.
He was ignorant. LeBron, why you chuckling so hard when you're supposedly a student of the game? Michael Jeffrey Jordan won 3 championships in a row. He three-peated, jackasses. And his father got killed, murdered that summer. I think July, August or something like that. And then MJ retired in October and dedicated himself to baseball, which is a sport that his father wanted him to play. So that's why he played baseball. And he tried to commit himself and dedicate himself because he was in a mourning phase. You know, smart-ass idiot, because he lost his father that year. After he played baseball, was gone from the game for about a year or two, he came back and three-peated again. So when you talk about dedication and greatness, at least know what the talking about while y'all chuckling and laughing and grabbing your ear, trying to trick this younger generation because y'all pieces of shit.
But recently Kwame Brown has reshaped his image through his YouTube platform, Bus Life, turning himself into one of the boldest and most unfiltered voices in basketball commentary. And on this issue, he didn't hold back. Brown went directly at Kevin Durant and LeBron James, accusing them of ignoring the most important context of Michael Jordan's era. He said he couldn't believe 2 self-proclaimed students of the game would overlook the biggest detail of all. and he was just getting started. Brown made it clear that Jordan's baseball chapter had nothing to do with ducking competition or losing passion. In his view, it was about grief, about a son honoring his father's final wishes while trying to function through emotional devastation. That context, Brown insisted, changed everything. And he wasn't about to let it slide. Clips of his rant spread quickly. Platforms like Ticket TV amplified it, pushing his message across basketball social media. And soon, Brown wasn't alone. Three-time NBA champion Ron Harper, who won titles alongside Jordan during the second three-peat with the Chicago Bulls, added his own indirect response. He posted that if someone stepped away 3 different times and still finished with more championships than everyone else, the debate should end there. The point was blunt: even with breaks, Jordan retired with 6 titles, more than Durant's 2 and LeBron's 4 combined. Then Stacey King, another Bulls champion, weighed in during August 2025 and didn't soften his tone. He mocked Mind the Game, sarcastically renaming it the Crimea River Podcast, and accused Durant of sneak dissing Jordan under the cover of Longevity Talk. In King's view, this wasn't thoughtful analysis. It was coded disrespect. The analyst class joined the pile-on. Charles Barkley devoted a segment of his podcast to what he described as hypocrisy. He questioned how Durant and LeBron could preach commitment when, from his perspective, parts of their careers involved sidestepping adversity rather than confronting it. Barkley contrasted that with how Jordan battled through the brutal Detroit Pistons era, enduring physical punishment before finally breaking through. He reminded listeners that when Jordan arrived in Chicago, the Bulls weren't glamorous. No superstars were lining up to join them. The franchise wasn't a destination, it was overlooked. Jordan didn't escape that situation, Barkley argued. He transformed it into a global powerhouse and one of the most iconic dynasties in sports history. At the same time, LeBron's career path re-entered the spotlight. His moves from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland, and then to Los Angeles became central to the renewed debate. Critics framed those transitions as examples of changing environments when circumstances grew difficult. Fair or not, that narrative came roaring back, and the culture war around legacy only intensified.
AD, who ran from OKC like a bat out of hell. Not only did he run from the grind and the commitment of trying to win for an organization that didn't really win nothing at all, you ran to the team that whooped your ass. That's like Jordan running to the Pistons, man. That's like Michael Jordan running to the Pistons or the Celtics. You ran to the dudes that put their goon down on you. Then you ran to Brooklyn. When things got hard in Brooklyn, what did you do? You ran again. But you're talking about committing to the grind? What are you even talking about?
Michael Jordan was averaging 30 10 times in his career, played all 82 games 9 times. 9 times an all-NBA first-team defensive player, a defensive player of the year, okay, a 6-time champion, a 6-time NBA Finals MVP, a 5-time MVP of the league, and in your 22nd or 23rd year, you still chasing. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I think it's obvious who the GOAT is. In my estimation, you don't like me because you see me calling it like I see it. You're not Michael Jordan. You're not the GOAT. You did choke in an NBA Finals. 4 consecutive fourth quarters in an NBA Finals. This man was scoring 4 points. One game, he scored 0 points. In an NBA Finals, fourth quarter. With Jason Terry or JJ Barea guarding you. There is no explanation for that. To anybody who knows basketball. That's a choke.
The debate only intensified when Stephen A. Smith stepped in. As the GOAT conversation flared up again, Smith delivered his argument with his usual force. He listed achievements that Michael Jordan accomplished that LeBron James still hasn't matched, even after more than 20 seasons. But for Smith, it wasn't just about stats. It was about moments, the defining stages where legacies are cemented or questioned. He pointed directly to the 2011 NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks, a series that continues to shadow LeBron's resume. According to Smith, Jordan never had a finals performance that left that kind of lingering doubt. Then came the argument Jordan loyalists never stop raising: super teams. Smith said he never saw Jordan strategically linking up with established all-stars the way LeBron joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, later paired with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love in Cleveland, and eventually teamed with Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. In Smith's view, Jordan built his dynasty primarily through the draft and smart front office moves, not through coordinated player movement. The tension even spilled off television. In March 2025, during a Los Angeles Lakers vs New York Knicks game, Smith and LeBron had a tense courtside exchange that quickly went viral. The friction reportedly stemmed from Smith's earlier on-air comments urging LeBron to shield his son from overwhelming scrutiny during difficult early season stretches. By then, this wasn't just basketball debate anymore. "Stop this." That was the line Stephen A. refused to walk back. He voiced what many critics had been whispering, that Bronny James reached the NBA largely because of his father. Smith later clarified that his criticism was directed at LeBron's decisions as a parent, not at Bronny personally. But he stood firm on one point: Bronny had been placed in an unfair position from day one. And that's when the situation became deeply uncomfortable. The backlash shifted. It stopped being about podcasts, legacy, or laughter, and started centering on the youngest person involved. Critics began connecting LeBron's perceived arrogance toward Jordan with accusations of nepotism. The tone turned harsh. How could LeBron laugh at the greatest player ever, some asked, when his own son was still trying to prove he belonged in the league? Bronny suddenly became the lightning rod for years of pent-up frustration from Jordan loyalists. A young player attempting to carve out his own identity was pulled into a battle he never chose. Here's the reality of his situation. Bronny was selected 55th overall by the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2024 NBA draft after a modest freshman season at University of Southern California, where he averaged just under 5 points per game. That year was heavily shaped by his recovery from a serious medical incident that disrupted both his development and rhythm. Critics argue that without his last name, he likely wouldn't have been drafted, and certainly not by his father's team. Still, history was made when Bronny and LeBron became the first father-son duo to share the floor in an NBA game, debuting together on opening night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Behind the scenes, controversy continued to build. Bronny's agent, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports Group, who also represents LeBron, reportedly signaled to teams that Bronny could consider playing overseas if drafted elsewhere. That effectively narrowed the path toward a Lakers selection, reinforcing the belief that Los Angeles was always the intended destination. Then came the contract, and more raised eyebrows. Bronny signed a 4-year deal worth approximately $7.9 million, fully guaranteed, with a team option in the final season. That level of security is rare for a late second-round pick. Most players drafted around number 55 receive two-way contracts, partial guarantees, or short-term deals. Reports indicated that Rich Paul rejected two-way offers outright, pushing for a standard roster spot with guaranteed money. Fair or not, perception became reality in the eyes of many fans. And in the middle of a generational legacy war, that perception only fueled the fire.
We got Nepo Baby. Homelander Jr., because LeBron is Homelander 1. Homelander Jr. sat out a preseason game.
And this ain't year one, this is year two. This don't make no sense. We got high school players better than Bronny. Absolutely got high school players better than Bronny. Bronny was never the best high school player on his team. He was never the best college player on his team. And he still gets 12 shots in a preseason game where everybody's auditioning, where nobody normally passes the ball. I'm watching a kid that they say is a defensive specialist, and they run the simple handoff at the three-point line. This guy is not a shooter that he's guarding. The Suns is a horrible team, and I watched Bronny James chase the guy around the top of the three-point line, and the guy get a backdoor layup. For people that are saying that he's a defensive specialist, how? He don't even know regular defensive concepts.
That decision poured fuel on the fire. Former players and commentators, including Brown, leaned into the narrative hard. Brown even coined a nickname for Bronny that spread through certain corners of basketball social media, capturing what critics believe symbolizes favoritism in the modern league. On the court, the 2024-2025 season showed a player still searching for footing. Bronny appeared in roughly 30 games, averaging around 2 points under 1 rebound and about 1 to 2 assists per night in limited minutes. His shooting percentages hovered around 30% from the field and below that from deep. Those numbers only intensified scrutiny even though his role and opportunities remained extremely limited. And that's the real tension at the heart of this story. Bronny didn't start this debate. He didn't laugh on a podcast. He didn't challenge a legacy. Yet here he was taking heat from all directions while trying to survive his first year in the toughest league on the planet. And with the GOAT debate raging louder than ever, Bronny James became collateral damage in a war he never signed up for. At the NBA level, Bronny James' impact was minimal, and critics noticed immediately. Most of his minutes came during blowouts, late rotations, or short injury fill-ins, not meaningful stretches where games were on the line. And after one rough preseason outing against the Phoenix Suns, where he went 1 for 12 from the field and 1 for 8 from deep, Brown said he'd seen enough. But Brown didn't stop at box scores. He went deeper, questioning the entire foundation of Bronny's supposed strengths. One of the biggest selling points around Bronny had been defense. The idea that he was already NBA ready on that end. Brown broke down film from a Los Angeles Lakers matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers where Bronny logged extended minutes but failed to score. According to Brown, what showed up on tape were repeated defensive lapses, late rotations, and positioning mistakes that pointed to deeper developmental issues. That said, the story shifted once Bronny dropped down to the G League. With the South Bay Lakers, he looked far more comfortable and confident. Over roughly 11 games, he averaged about 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and nearly 2 steals per game while logging heavy minutes. He flashed real upside, including a 30-point outing on December 12, 2024, a career-high 31 points on January 24, 2025, and a season-best explosion of 39 points with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a block against the Santa Cruz Warriors. Those performances forced coaches to take notice. Lakers head coach J.J. Redick publicly praised Bronny's work ethic and growth, saying after a 17-point NBA performance in March that Bronny is going to be an NBA player. That endorsement carried weight inside the organization. But for critics like Brown, none of it changed the argument. The G League wasn't the NBA, and success there didn't erase struggles at the highest level. To them, Bronny's roster spot still looked like politics over performance. A symbol of influence outweighing readiness.
I love my boy. I love him. Yeah. But when Michael Jordan took off with that tongue out, hold up, listen, because a lot of you wasn't born then. 1991 against my Lakers, right hand. We thought we had him. He looked as we went down. He switched it to the left hand. Tongue went left. Spun it against the glass and good. There's nobody alive that's been able to do just that. That boy is too bad, I'm telling you right now. But LeBron is a bad boy too. He's a bad boy, but he's not Michael.
He's the only man that had me terrified on the court. Because I went from high school admiring him, college admiring him, and then he's right there in front of you. And all the shit you see on your poster, like he's doing it in real life. Like he came by me so fast sometimes.
Meanwhile, the GOAT debate that Kevin Durant helped reignite kept spreading across every corner of the basketball world. The case for Michael Jordan remains straightforward and powerful. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, and a perfect 6-0 record on the biggest stage. He averaged 31 points per game for his career, still the highest in NBA history, and an astonishing 33. 4 in the playoffs. 10 scoring titles. A Defensive Player of the Year award. And perhaps most importantly, an aura opponents openly admitted they feared. Jordan didn't just win, he suffocated teams mentally and physically. He never allowed a final series to reach Game 7. That ruthless efficiency became the core of his legend. On the other side, supporters of LeBron James point to something different: versatility and longevity. At 6'9", he's been capable of playing and defending all 5 positions. He famously led both teams in every major statistical category during the 2016 finals comeback against the Golden State Warriors, who had won 73 games that season. He owns the all-time scoring record and has earned more All-NBA selections than anyone ever. Still, the finals comparison, Jordan's 6-0 versus LeBron's 4-6, remains the dividing line for many fans. That divide echoed through comments made by Magic Johnson at InvestFest in Atlanta in September 2025. Magic recalled a single play from the 1991 finals that cemented Jordan's greatness in his mind, a moment blending athleticism, instinct, and cold precision in a way he believes only Jordan could deliver. And Magic hasn't wavered. At that same event, he stated plainly, "It's Michael Jordan first, then LeBron, then Kareem." He emphasized that no one has replicated what Jordan did. It wasn't framed as disrespect, just the perspective of someone who competed against him. Magic also praised LeBron, calling him special and acknowledging his greatness. But when pressed for a final ranking, he stood firm: MJ remains at the top. Then Shaquille O'Neal added something statistics can't quantify: fear. Not admiration, fear. Shaq described Jordan's presence as something that unsettled opponents before tip-off. He once had Jordan posters on his wall as a kid. Later, he had to guard him. That transition, Shaq explained, changed how he understood greatness. And this debate stretches beyond basketball. Jordan's long-standing GOAT status helped turn the Jordan brand into a global powerhouse, reportedly generating an estimated $6 billion in revenue in fiscal 2025 alone. LeBron's lifetime Nike deal, valued at over $1 billion,